So a gay guy walks into a Muslim bookstore. He asks the Muslim store owner, "Do you have that book, the one that explains Trump's Muslim ban and illustrates points concerning his immigration policy?" The Muslim owner responds, "Get the fuck out of here, you pig. Get the fuck out and stay out, and if you ever try to come back, I'll personally beat your ass." The guy answers, "Yeah, that's the one. Do you have it in paperback?" It seems like liberals in America have gone completely, absolutely insane after the election of Donald Trump. They simply cannot fathom a world where this exists, and their entire worldview, with themselves at the center, has been turned upside down. It's led to a series of incredulous hyperbole, like this batshit statement from Loretta Lynch, President Obama's former Attorney General.
Ordinary people who simply saw what needed to be done and came together and supported those ideals who have made the difference. They've marched, they've bled. Yes, some of them have died. This is hard. Every good thing is.
There will be blood and death in the streets. Now, I don't know about you, dear viewer, but that seems like, that seems a little much. That's a little high-strung. It's a little too exciting for me. But considering recent trends, Democrats have a reason to be afraid. Donald Trump's speech to the Joint House of Congress got him 10 million more views than the Oscars did. 82% of speech viewers called it presidential, while 71% called it unifying. A poll studying viewers of the left-wing anti-Trump bastion, Saturday Night Live, has shown that 35% of viewers want them to move on from their anti-Trump sketches, and only 33% of people want more. 60% of Americans are hopeful and optimistic about the future of America, and a majority of Americans say that the news media is too critical of Donald Trump. Now, a lot of Trump supporters have chalked this amazing sea change in American opinion up to some grand intellectual chess game. Donald Trump is playing 67th dimensional underwater backgammon. He's some kind of time traveler. Donald Trump is the reincarnation of George Patton, and his father has Nikola Tesla's time travel inventions. But the honest truth is that none of this is because of Donald Trump's incredible wit, and believe me, Donald Trump is an intelligent man. This is because of the endless hyperbole of the left. Just listen to how House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi reacted to Donald Trump accusing President Obama of issuing a wiretap of his campaign.
And so this is, it's called a wrap-up smear. You make up something, and then you have the press write about it, and then you say everybody's writing about this charge. It's a tool of an authoritarian to just have you always be talking about what you want them to be talking about. Rather than Russia, we're talking about, did President Obama do thus and so? He's
an authoritarian. Donald Trump is an authoritarian for sending mean tweets. The government would never spy on American citizens ever, and this is just a distraction from the real issue, the Russian connection. Donald Trump tweets and the world goes insane. Now, not only is this a clear and present example of Nancy Pelosi being some scumbag politician with the eyes of a dead fish and more Botox than a Hollywood heroin addict, it's a clear and blatant lie. We've known that the NSA spies on American citizens since Edward Snowden, but even more spectacularly, the evidence that this is a lie is apparently a matter of public record.
There's a report that June 2016, there's a FISA request by the Obama administration Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court to monitor communications involving Donald Trump and several other campaign officials. Then they get turned down, and then in October they renew it, and they do start a wiretap at Trump Tower with some computer and Russian banks, and it doesn't show up anything.
Fox News breaks the story that yes, the Obama administration wiretapped Donald Trump's presidential campaign. But the lies and deceit don't stop there. After the American people have been shown that the emperor wears no clothes, Democrats double down. Because apparently even if Obama did wiretap Donald Trump, that's just stronger evidence that Donald Trump has been colluding with Russia. Donald Trump has been resting his sack on Jake Tapper's forehead for the past 6 months. And while Donald may be playing six-dimensional intergalactic underwater basket weaving, his opponents in the media are busy shitting onto a checkerboard and screaming about racism. The entire left has been playing a vast and dangerous game of chicken with reality to see how needlessly hyperbolic they can be about the ascension of Donald Trump. He's a joke. He's a buffoon. He's a clown. He's ridiculous. You shouldn't take him seriously. He's a narcissist. He's an animal. He's a part of the KKK. He's a dangerous element of our society. He's going to crash this plane with no survivors. He's going to roll the clock back 50 years. He's going to bring back slavery. He's the second coming of Adolf Hitler.
This is Wednesday, November 9th, 2016, and this is The Closer. I'd like to begin by congratulating the FBI on its successful coup against the electoral process of the United States of America. You've been working on one of these for a while, boys, and I know everybody at the Bureau is just delighted that the F can now also stand for fascist.
The FBI is leading a fascist coup against the people of the United States.
Trump's travel ban is a Muslim ban, and his immigration enforcement order is a purge of Hispanics, and I am tired of hearing the radical right bullshit that they are anything else.
He is literally going to put people in concentration camps and fucking gas all the Muslims. The bar has been set so low for Donald Trump that if he avoids committing genocide, he'll have beaten all expectation. Now, this entire situation, this grandiloquent symphonic destruction of the left, could be completely avoided if the media and Democrats even pretended to be objective, but they just can't. Their entire worldview, their sense of self, their identity is based on them being righteous, victorious, cultural warriors, fighting against the evils of racism and fascism. And in order to prop up this sense of vindication, they've had to look harder and harder for evidence of evil fascism.
I used to think I knew what conservatism meant. It was something to do with a drawling patrician calling Gore Vidal a queer. But these days, I have no fucking clue what conservative means, so I sent Mike Rubens to CPAC to find out.
This year, the bow ties were gone, replaced by Nazi hair. Nazi hair, Nazi hair. Fuck off.
Nazi haircuts. We've gone from Nazi frogs to Nazi haircuts. And the best part about it is that one of the people here with a so-called Nazi haircut actually has stage 4 brain cancer. I mean, can you be any more of a fucking pathetic meme? You're a skinhead, you bitch! No, Dad, it's leukemia. Funnily enough, this is the first time I've ever laughed at one of Samantha Bee's jokes. Because of these overblown reactions, because of this hyperbole, because of how ridiculous everyone from Jon Stewart to Nancy Pelosi is behaving on the left has become incredibly fun to fuck with. These parodies write themselves, especially when it's just so easy to get in media. We've gone from BuzzFeed reporting about rare Pepes in 2015 to the Anti-Defamation League designating Pepe as an official hate symbol in 2016. Now, this is a scientific study published by Cornell University about the impact of 4chan on internet culture. One specific hilarious call-out is to Operation Google, which tried to replace offensive words like the N-word with the word Google, which changes the meaning of the phrase Google Hangouts. It seems that Operation Google was mostly a success in terms of propaganda via media coverage. The most popular image on poll during our collection period, perhaps the least rare Pepe. There are literally scientific papers being written about fucking rare Pepes. In this ridiculous culture, how can you not, at the very least, appreciate the election of Donald Trump as some kind of grand comeuppance? The cathartic release of the hubris of the left, the just revenge for the snarling, condescending, overbearing, preening, nannying culture warriors of the left. There was a single moment during Trump's speech to Congress that stuck out to everyone, including me. The entire House applauded the wife of a slain Navy SEAL as she cried on national television, and Democrats sat in their seat because they didn't want to give Trump the optic of the entire nation applauding him as he honors a fallen soldier. What this says to me is that the Democrats aren't afraid of Donald Trump failing and harming the United States. What they're really afraid of is Donald Trump succeeding and winning the public from their decrepit grass. The funniest part about it is all it would take for the left to start winning again is for them to have a single ounce of self-criticism, but they simply can't. Nancy Pelosi and Samantha Bee are the representatives of modern liberal politics. Compared to them, Donald Trump is the adult in the room, which is why a majority of Generation Z identifies as Republican and supports Donald Trump.
There are a lot of people who have a lot of reason to be frustrated with him, to be fearful of him. But that was one of the most extraordinary moments you have ever seen in American politics, period. And he did something extraordinary. And for people who have been hoping that he would become unifying, hoping that he might find some way to become presidential, they should be happy with that moment. For people who have been hoping that maybe he would remain a divisive cartoon, which he often finds a way to do, they should begin to become a little bit worried tonight.
Two to the one to the three. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get more ass than a toilet seat. Three to the one to the three. I met a bad bitch last night in the deep. Let me tell you how I'm gonna leave with me. Conversation and ANC. I've been to the motherfucking mountaintop. Heard motherfuckers talk, seen them drop. If I ain't got a weapon, I'ma pick up a rock. And when I bust your ass, I'm gonna continue to rock.
If you like my shitty opinions, you'll probably like the second episode of my podcast with Kraut and Tea called The Western Front, link in the description.